Hello, this is Chris, and this is the latest installment from the Matthew Jacoby Library tutorial series. Today, we will be reviewing citations. Creating a works cited or bibliography can be quite confusing and tricky, but it's very important to give the authors of the resources that you're using the appropriate amount of credit to avoid plagiarism. Although creating a works cited page can seem like a daunting task, once you learn the tricks of the trade, it can be quite easy. To begin, let's take a look at the Matthew Jacoby Library citation page. When writing a research paper, more often than not, your professor will assign the type of citation style you should use. If your teacher has not assigned one, you can look at the website and use it as a guide for which subject most commonly uses which type of citation style. Once you have decided which citation style you will be using, the Purdue OWL site is a good website that can help you construct your works cited, and it can be found here. I will now take the time to help guide you through creating a works cited page. For our first example, I will use MLA style. So you'll click on MLA style and MLA formatting and style guide. For this tutorial, we will use a scholarly article published in an online database. We will use Black Theology of Liberation and the Economy of Life, written by V.S. Vellum, printed in Ecumenical Review. So we will go back to our OWL MLA formatting and style guide. We are using an electronic source, and scrolling down, we are using an article from an online database. By reading through the directions, we can see that it notes we should be sure to consult the appropriate sections of the works cited periodicals page. Looking at the information below, we can see that the database is written in italics, it is taken from the web, and the date you are viewing it. So now let's go back up to the works cited periodicals page. MLA works cited periodicals, and we scroll down to find an article in a scholarly journal. Here we see that the proper way to cite this citation is author, period, the title of the article in quotation marks, period, title of the journal in italics, volume, period, issue, with the year in parentheses followed by a colon, and the pages, period, and the medium of publication we had looked at previously. So in this situation, we would put where the database is, period, web, period, and the date we are accessing this. Below is an example of a citation. Now let's create our own citation to ensure that we know how to do this. As we can see, first is the author, last name, comma, first name. We will go back to our scholarly article and we see that the author is Vellum, comma, VS. When you are creating your works cited page, make sure you also follow the same format that you use for the rest of your research paper. Quite often, teachers ask you to use size 12 Times New Roman double space, but make sure that you follow your instructor's instructions. So first we put in the author's name, last name, comma, first name. And we'll go back to our OWL page and see that next is the title of the article in quotation marks. And the title is Black Theology of Liberation and the Economy of Life. So let's add that to our works cited page. As you can see, we have put quotation marks around it. Next is the title of the journal in italics. And the title of the journal is Ecumenical Review. And here we have our journal name in italics. Next we have the volume number followed by the issue number and also the year in parentheses followed by a colon. And here we can see it as volume 67, issue 2, and the year is 2015. So in MLA style that would be 67 period 2, 2015 in parentheses and the colon. And next is the page numbers where the scholarly article is found. Here we can see it is between pages 177 to 186. So in our works cited page, we can just write 177-186, period. The last bit of information is the medium of publication. And as we looked it up before, an article from an online database, you need the name of the database, web, and the date. Here you can see the database is Academic Search Premier. We took it from the web, and today's date is actually November 6th, 2015. So the last bit of information goes there. Now remember, when you are doing a works cited page, it is a hanging indent. So to set up your page, change the indent to here, and you have your first resource in your works cited page. Now let's look at another way of using citations. If you are using EBSCOhost, you can just click on the Cite button, and you can choose which citation style you'd like. Since we used MLA last time, this time let's use APA. You can just copy and paste it into your works cited page. Of course, you're going to have to play with the format to ensure it looks like the rest of your works cited page. And now I have the exact same resource cited in APA instead of MLA. The last way that I'd like to show you, if you're on the Matthew Jacoby Library citation page, scroll down towards the bottom, and you can click on BibMe. Once again, as it says on the page, I would recommend using this as a last resort. It's very important that you can create citations on your own. Being able to organize and knowing how to do it is a very crucial part of education. So I would use BibMe as a last resort. My recommendation is that you first do the works cited page by yourself and maybe use BibMe as a backup to see if you did it correctly. So let's create a citation using BibMe. This time let's do this in Chicago style. We will use the same scholarly article that we used before, which came from a journal, and you can see it asks you to find a scholarly journal article by title. So you would copy the title, search journals, and here we have it. Select, and some of the information is missing, so you'll have to fill it in. The volume number, as we saw before, was 67 and issue number 2. The DOI, and the origin, we got this from a database. The publisher, and the publisher is Wiley Blackwell. Next is the database URL, and the database, which is Academic Search Premier. The published date, year, month, and date. There is no date given this, but we can see the month is July and the year is 2015. And the date accessed is today. So create citation. And there you have it. You can just click copy and paste and paste it. And once again, make sure the format's the same as the rest. And in a matter of no time, we have the MLA, APA, and Chicago-style citation of the same scholarly article. And we have created this using 3 separate programs. No one way is better than the other, although as I mentioned earlier, it's good to know how to do it yourself and not to rely on computer programs to create the citation for you. If you have any more questions on citations, please contact the library and we would be more than happy to assist you in any way possible. Thank you.